Welcome to the Island Treasures mini podcast for caregivers. I am your host and certified caregiving consultant, Allison Van Schie of Alongside Caregiver Consulting. This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Cabin Teely Contractors in the Comox Valley on beautiful Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada, where we care too. Today you'll hear about building the Unbreakable Caregiver with Lego. My guest for the full podcast episode called Building the Unbreakable Caregiver is Loretta Veney. Loretta is a trained facilitator in a methodology called Lego Serious Play. And Loretta uses this methodology to facilitate sessions for various audiences with various purposes. And for caregivers, Loretta uses Lego as a stress-reducing and confidence-building tool. And the Unbreakable Caregiver session is designed for caregivers who may be facing challenges that cause them to bend as they are pulled in multiple directions. Through these sessions, Loretta guides caregivers over Zoom to use their Lego pieces to build what pushes them to their breaking point in caregiving. And then she challenges them to build themselves as the unbreakable caregiver, always leaving folks with joy. Watch this video to see and hear how empowering this exercise can be.
And so I started to, bring that out of caregivers. Not only are we going to talk about, some of the bad times, which I think a lot of people try to avoid, but it is a fact of life of caregiving that you can't avoid. But I wanted to always leave people with joy, just as I always did with my mom. And so we always end the sessions building something positive. So like the other night, a group hired me to have the caregivers build the Unbreakable Caregiver, which is on my website. And to that point, I had not done it. I actually I built some stuff. I tried a whole lot of stuff out on my friends. Now, Lego makes a lot of pieces that bend and twist and do all kinds of things. And but you can manipulate it in a way it doesn't break. So the first thing I did was pull out this little thing and I twisted it all kinds of ways and everybody's kind of going, are those Lego bricks? And it doesn't break. So I had them first build what pushes you to the breaking point in caregiving.
Yeah.
And people did that. And, I don't have enough resources. Oh, I have family members who don't help. Oh, I have this. And they, because they're little people in your bag, we mailed out the kits and everything. And so there are little people in there. So the one woman had her one people and everybody else over here just watching, not doing that. And people were like, wow, she captured that. Her whole family standing over there watching while she's doing all the work. And she was livid about it. And it was like the best model I had ever seen of you being all alone. Yeah. And so it was her and her mama over here, and then all the rest of the people, like an audience, like they were on TV or something. It was powerful. And she said, I didn't understand how really isolating that was until I saw how far apart the two groups of people were. And so, but at the end, then I add, what one thing could you change or add to prevent you from getting to the breaking point? Oh, I need to go outside more. And one lady built a tree. I need to go to the park and I want to ride my bike. And and then I leave them with, I want you to build yourself as the unbreakable caregiver. And that was probably one of the most amazing things. One woman showed up with her entire family, kids, her mother, everybody. And everybody had their own Lego bricks. And I was not expecting that. And when that woman started to describe herself as an unbreakable caregiver, because at first she built all these barriers. What is a barrier to this? I need this program, but they say I make too much money, but I really need it. And so she tore all the barriers down and how she was going to go out and get that. And then when she built herself as, unbreakable, she had herself up real high. She's, had her arms, her little Lego person's arms up, and I've conquered it and I have joy. It was quite the thing. And her kids were just cheering for her. I was really about to cry. And they would go, mama, go. And one of the girls, who was about 10, she had it on Facebook Live. And she's broadcasting her mother building herself, and the lady just seemed to get more confidence as she went on. So anyway, that's how it works. But
that's fabulous. I told you I'd use that word, the unbreakable caregiver. What a concept. Really I love that.
It is. And so now I actually have, because if you look at my website under the Lego thing, I have pictures from an actual session for each of the things. And the Unbreakable Caregiver one, I just had that piece I described to you that bends in all kinds of ways, but it doesn't break. And so now I can actually have, pictures of what people built of themselves as unbreakable. So it's interesting to watch people's stories build. And so like even my mother's thing, the things my mother used to build early on, and then, you could just watch. And I don't even want to use the word deterioration. I guess you could see it that way, but I chose to see it that she could still build. Now, and even at 90, she could still open these windows. And this is the first house she built, and I want to say 2013, maybe.
So Loretta is showing a house, which I will use in the visual mini version that we'll do of this podcast.
And it does have doors and windows. Lego makes beautiful. Thousands of doors and windows. And so she made this herself without any help from me. And for a long time, I had a little gray-haired person inside there, and she would open it. Because, folks with dementia, they always want to go home.
Yes.
So she would, if she was anxiety-filled, she would open the door and look in there. And then she would say, "I'm still in there."
Aww.
I'm like, yay.
I recognize how precious your time is, especially as caregivers. And so this mini podcast is designed just for you. And when you have more time to listen to the full episode, you may be inspired to start building with Lego. For more motivation, check out Loretta's website at lorettaveney.com, where you can see many photos of the sessions she has facilitated and check out her other resources as well. If you're in the midst of your own caregiving journey and need some supports, I invite you to tap into alongsidecaregiverconsulting.ca. Thanks again for listening to this mini version or watching the video version of this podcast. And thank you to Loretta Veney for your wisdom, insights, and sharing your creativity. Take care.